Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jasmine, and in today's video I need you to make yourself comfortable. Grab yourself your drink, some water, some coffee, whatever you want. I actually have my unsweet tea right here because we had McDonald's this morning. And I really wanted some McDonald's this morning, so don't judge me. I have been chatting about my pregnancy journey, giving you all some updates on my own pregnancy right now. So if you are expecting, congratulations. Let me know in the comments below, like, how far along are you? If this is like your first baby or, you know, your second baby, just fill me in. Let me know where are you in your journey. But I'm really excited about today's video because we're going to be talking about the things that people don't tell you about pregnancy. Yes, girlfriend. I am going to tell you all the deets, everything that has been going on with me personally, the things that I have been experiencing, because let me tell you, it's been a lot. In the beginning, I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. Yay, I'm super excited. Like, this is going to be such a beautiful experience. And people started asking me and family members, like, have you started experiencing like any nausea, any morning sickness, anything? I'm like, nope, I'm fine. But next thing you know, a few weeks into my first trimester, shit hit the fan. Yes, I started experiencing so many different things that I was just like, what in the world? Like, no one told me I was going to experience this. Like, I've heard of it, but it wasn't like I don't know, I just feel like I got, like, nobody told me. So I am going to be your friend, your girlfriend that is going to give you all the details. If, like I said, if this is your first pregnancy, if you are early on in pregnancy, then I just want to go ahead and give you these details right now. Of course, every pregnancy is different. Every woman, every body is different. This is just my own personal experience. I have all of the things listed here in my phone, so I will be glancing over at my phone, fixing my little moñitos over here that are crooked, I noticed, but oh well, it is what it is. But let's go ahead and start. Number one, pregnancy congestion. Yes, this is a thing. I've gotten used to it where I've just experienced a lot of sinus infections throughout my lifetime. Since I was a little girl, my mom actually says que, like, one of my tíos would make fun of me, que la niña siempre está mocosa, because I'm very nasally, I feel. So, oh wow. And now throughout my pregnancy, it's common, it says, it's common, they say, for there to be like more swelling. I feel like through most of my pregnancy, but right now, like at night, it does get hard sometimes to sleep. So I do have my humidifier on. I sleep with the box of tissues next to my bed. But other than that, like, I've just been pretty nasally this whole entire pregnancy. Number two, your bladder control. So, okay, listen, hear me out over here. This is hilarious, I feel, because I feel like no one, like, I heard about it, women saying like, oh, you know, you do like pee on yourself sometimes, but to the extent that I experienced it was like, what in the world is happening with my body? Because as your bump is growing, as baby is growing, your bladder is like shrinking and shrinking and shrinking because it's making room, your body is making room for the baby. So your bladder gets squished, and when you sneeze, when you cough, you will see that sometimes you end up tickling on yourself, you end up peeing, and it's like so embarrassing. In the beginning for me, for my first trimester, I do remember that being that I was constantly, like, my morning sickness was all day sickness, which I'll dive in just a second, but sneezing, coughing, and throwing up, like, that would make me just pee on myself. So I would have to constantly change my underwear, and so like wear little liners, little pads, and it ended up being like when I had Rona and I was coughing so much, I ended up having to need the poise pads, like the thick pads, because it was just so much that I couldn't control it. So that is one thing that I felt like super embarrassed about when in the beginning, like, or when you laugh really, really hard. And Valdez would be like, stop laughing so hard, you're gonna end up like peeing on yourself. So it just became a joke to us, honestly. The next thing is morning sickness. Okay. Morning sickness is so real. So they tell you, like, maybe you will experience it like in the morning, but honestly, for me personally, it was all day sickness. Throughout my entire first trimester and leading a little bit into my second trimester, I was so sick. Like, I could not hold anything down my first trimester. I was constantly throwing up. Everything that I was eating, I could not like hold it down. So that is something that it's really hard. It's really hard because it just hit me like a ton of bricks. I was doing so well the first couple of weeks, and we found out pretty early on. I was only 4 weeks pregnant when we found out. It was really hard because it just takes a toll on you physically and also emotionally. So I do recommend, you know, like leaning on your support, leaning on your partner, letting them know how you're feeling, because I was just like not having it at all, and it was just really, really hard. The next thing is my skin did change and it got really, really dry. It was like it was in my second trimester that I started noticing that my patches on my skin where it was really dry, and also like the hyperpigmentation. I was really red, and still there are some days that I just wake up and my skin is just really, it's just red in my cheeks. So that is why I try to always have some concealer or a little bit of foundation throughout the day, because I just want to cover it up. But that is something that you will notice your skin changing throughout pregnancy. It's a possibility. The next thing is constipation. I know. So this one here, I feel like you don't really hear women talking about it, but oh my gosh, it was so uncomfortable. I experienced this, I want to say like early on in my second trimester, where it was just like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? Like just being at the restroom and trying to go poop, it really sucks, and just feeling so bloated and uncomfortable, it was not good. And I remember that there was one day that I was in the restroom for over an hour, and I was just really struggling. I know this is TMI, but I told you I'm gonna give you the full scoop over here because someone's got to let you know, and I just want to share my personal experiences because maybe this is going to help you just feel like you're not the only one, that it's not just you, because I felt many times that, is it just me that's experiencing this? But when I would reach out to my friends or like, you know, speak to my doctor about it, it definitely wasn't just me. So I just want to share it. So there was this one time that I was in the restroom for over an hour, and I was just struggling, and it was bad, and I just started to cry because it was so painful for me. And what we ended up doing is just getting some stool softeners, which, you know, ask your doctor if it's safe for you to take. But for me, I had to get some stool softeners. I was drinking so much water, eating prunes and things like that to help get some movement. And but I know that throughout that period of time, because I wasn't eating much and holding things down, my fiber intake also was very low. So I know all of this affected, but it's also part of like pregnancy as is. So I got the stool softeners, and I also ended up getting hemorrhoids for like the first time in my life, and that was so bad. It was so uncomfortable because I could barely sit, and it was just really, really uncomfortable. And I just remember crying because I had never experienced anything like that. So definitely, like I said, reach out to your doctor if you are experiencing that, to see if it's safe for you to take any stool softeners, or if they have something else for you to help you get some relief, because being constipated is just not fun at all. The next thing is indigestion. So a lot of gas. A lot of gas, a lot of bloating. For me, in the first trimester, all I was doing was burping all the freaking time. I just kept constantly burping, and it was just bad. And I was just like, I don't even want to say excuse me anymore, because it's like bleh, bleh, bleh. Like Valdez was just like, are you okay? But it was just part of it. Like I just kept burping all the time, and I just felt so bloated, and I was passing gas too, but most of it was me burping. So that's like the not so pretty side of pregnancy. The other thing is lightning crotch. Yes, it's that exactly as it sounds. You may be like, what the heck is that? But I experienced it in my first and like second trimester. A little bit now that I'm far along. I haven't experienced it so much just yet, now in my third trimester. But boy, does that hurts a lot. So what ends up happening is that baby is applying pressure to certain nerves, so you literally feel like there's lightning going down your vajayjay, and it catches you off guard, and it's just shooting down your vajayjay, and whoo, boy, does that hurt. Every time this would happen to me, I would just stop and just breathe, because it was so bad, like the pain. And I remember like feeling it going down towards my leg too at times, but it was just like so uncomfortable and painful. But it is a part of pregnancy, and not like it's just so uncomfortable to experience lightning crotch. The other thing is Braxton hicks. Okay, so Braxton hicks, I've been experiencing them much more frequent now in my third trimester, as my body is really gearing up and prepping for birth. But Braxton hicks are those like contractions where your body is just prepping, your uterus is literally tightening up, and it's not painful, but it is uncomfortable, and you just got to take a moment to either change positions if possible, drink some water. That's what the doctors say to do. I'm a first-time mom. A lot of these things, it's like you don't know, they're all so new to you, so you don't know whether or not this is like normal. Should I be feeling this? Should I call my doctor? Anytime you feel like something is off, call your doctor. Do not hesitate. No matter what time it is, please call, because it is so important for you to like make sure that you are doing okay and that baby is feeling okay. Like, you know, for me, I just felt like I don't want to bother anybody, but at the end of the day, you have to be your advocate, and you have to advocate for your baby and for yourself. So I remember there was this one time that in the middle of the night, that I just felt that pressure on my pelvis, and it was just like really bad, and I started to cry because it was just so painful. And I was walking around here in our bedroom, I was stretching, I was on my yoga ball, and I was just so uncomfortable. And I told Valdez, like, I can't, like, it's just really painful, it's a lot. So I went downstairs, and I'm just like, is this like Braxton hicks? I don't know if that's like Braxton hicks. Well, I didn't call the doctor because it was in the middle of the night, but I experienced it again like around 6 in the morning, and I just wrote it out and put my heating pad on. Then like around 10 in the morning when we got up, it was there again. But I just knew deep down I needed to call my doctor ASAP. I just felt that there was something that wasn't okay at this point, and that this wasn't Braxton hicks. Like, I've watched YouTube videos to help me out and see what Braxton hicks feels like. I just knew that something was off, so that's why I called the doctor. And when I told my doctor, when I told her, hey, look, I'm just feeling a lot of pressure, she like just said, you need to go to the hospital. Like, that's not Braxton hicks. We need to get you checked out and find out what's going on. So it's scary. It was really scary for me to hear go to the hospital. We got to check on baby, got to check on you to make sure everything is okay, because one of their main concerns was that the infection would travel up to my kidneys, which thankfully it did not. So definitely, like I said, anytime you feel like something is just not good, like it doesn't feel normal, something is off, call your doctor. Do not hesitate, because at the end of the day, that's what they are there for. The next one is, again, TMI, but it's all part of pregnancy. It's going to be the increased discharge. Yes, there is a major increase in discharge because your body is just producing so many different fluids, going through so many different hormonal changes, that it was just a lot. So I had to start using liners, changing my underwear constantly. I ended up buying more underwear so that it can help, because I was constantly changing my underwear. If you do start feeling uncomfortable, irritated, because with the increased discharge you may get irritated. It happened to me. It just depends, you know, how sensitive you are. I'm very sensitive, so I ended up getting irritated. So I had gone into an appointment, and I told the nurse practitioner who saw me at that time, my doctor wasn't there, so I let her know, hey, I've just experienced a lot of discharge, but I am feeling a little bit irritated. And she just kind of was pretty dismissive, to be honest with you, and she's just like, that's normal, it's fine, it's just normal, just wear liners. And I felt like I wasn't really, like, she really didn't take the time to maybe like even get a swab to test it out to make sure there wasn't anything else going on. So I had the following appointment, and I mentioned it after to my doctor when I saw my doctor, and she immediately went ahead and swabbed me, and it ended up being that I had a yeast infection, which is also something that you may experience more frequently throughout pregnancy because of the increased discharge. So she sent the prescription out for me to the pharmacy. I started doing the little creams, but the next thing you know, two days later, that's when I ended up getting that really bad bladder infection. So that's what I'm saying, like, you know, if you ever feel like uncomfortable, voice it out, let them know, let your doctors know, hey, something doesn't feel normal here, like, can you please like get a swab, test me out, like whatever needs to get done to make sure that you are taken care of. Because I personally felt like we could have avoided this entire experience that was just scary. Honestly, at the time, it was just really scary for me to end up going to the hospital and getting this UTI infection. So definitely, please, like, don't be afraid to voice what you are feeling and to ask questions. The next thing here is back pain. Oh my gosh, back pain. Listen, so back pain and round ligament pain, okay? So this is like, I've had sciatic nerve pain for some time, like years already, but now throughout pregnancy, it has been a struggle, because it's like, ooh, it is painful, and it hasn't been easy for me. Like on my back, my left side is the one where I feel the weakening, and the round ligament pain, because you literally have like two rubber bands, you feel like that stretch and you feel like that pressure there at times. So what has helped me is go to the chiropractor and get adjusted. Of course, they're not going to crack your back like they would normally crack your back. They know what they're doing, you know, and you can always ask if they like work with pregnant women. That way you can see someone that specializes with pregnant women as well, that can really help with the round ligament pain. It has helped so much for me, so I highly recommend that you find a chiropractor that can really help you with your back, which also really helps just overall with labor. That's what has helped me alleviate the pain, like using using heating pads, using my yoga ball, doing stretches there has helped me so much. Also getting your partner to help you and massaging your back. He grabs one of the tennis balls and just starts massaging my low back because it's really painful, very uncomfortable for me at times. So that has helped me so much. So the next one here is swelling. Swelling. So your fingers and your feet, you may experience swelling. For me, it has been my fingers. Like right now, I'm not wearing my rings. I'm just wearing this one. But for some reason, my left side has felt like my fingers, they've been swollen. So I can't put my rings here. So like, you know, you may experience that. Also, like these pair of boots that I love that I got for Christmas that are my size, they're 6.5. They feel super tight. So a lot of my shoes just feel a little bit tighter and they feel uncomfortable. I know that there's some women that have told me that they end up like going up a size throughout pregnancy, and some of them, they go back to their normal size and others don't. So we shall see how my body is going to be after giving birth to baby girl. Doing my stretches, Epsom salt bath, drinking lots of water. Always have like your cup of water with you and drink lots and lots of water. And also like elevating my feet at night, or like if I'm laying down on the couch, and just resting overall. Try to rest. I know it's hard, believe me. For me, it has been hard to just like chill out at times because I want to get things done. I want to do laundry, I want to clean the house, I want to do all of these different things and go. But then my body really feels it. So please just try to rest when possible. The other thing that I have experienced is bleeding gums. Yes, I know, gross. But I experienced this more throughout my second trimester, I feel, where flossing, it was just like they would be bleeding all the time. And it was just like the swelling as well in my gums. I did go in and get my cleaning, which was just painful because I was extra sensitive at that time. So the dentist just let me know that as soon as I give birth to baby girl, to go back in for my cleaning, and that they're going to check for the swelling of my gums. Using like Sensodyne has helped me with that, although I will say, like, you may experience this where even toothpaste just tastes gross to me. It has like, at times, especially in the first trimester, it was disgusting. Like, the other thing here is nosebleeds. Like, what the heck? Nosebleeds out of nowhere. You will, like, just the other night I was putting on my moisturizer and my nose just started like gushing out blood, and I'm just like over here with my little cotton ball, and then all of a sudden I'm like, what the heck is going on? And I was just bleeding. My nose was just bleeding, and it's just wild. So we were in Dominican Republic having a good time, just partying, whatever, and all of a sudden, like, I just see that in the dream he wasn't paying attention to me. And I'm just like trying to get his attention in the dream, and then I just see him with this other girl, and I'm like, what the heck is going on over here? Like, that is my man. Why is he over there with this other girl? Like, what is happening here? And I just started sobbing and crying in the dream, in Insomnia, that I was just like, he doesn't love me anymore. Like, I'm here expecting our baby, and like, you know, like, why? What is going on? And I was just crying, and next thing I feel is like Valdez like was shaking me like, babe, you're okay, because I was just crying, and I'm like, I was just dreaming you didn't love me anymore. Honestly, like, look, I just sound like a psycho wife. He calls me, you're my psycho wife, like toxica and whatever. I'm like, no, I'm not. But it just seems so real. So look, I just gotta let you know, those dreams, they're wild. So just brace yourself. The next thing is insomnia. Lord, why? I used to be the person that Look, all I needed was like 2 minutes. I would rest my head on like an armrest on the couch, lay down, and I was knocked out. But now it's hard. It is hard. Like, insomnia is so real. Whether it's because of my back pain or I just can't sleep. I've been up like, I right now, just last night, I was up till like 2 in the morning, and then back up at like 6 in the morning or 4 in the morning. And then I'm up, I get up, I eat some breakfast, and I come back to bed and try to sleep for a few hours because I am just so tired and so exhausted. But insomnia is so real. Some days, like, this is just talk right now, there are going to be some days that are better than others. My entire pregnancy, I feel like it has been one heck of a roller coaster ride. It has been one of the most humbling experiences, most beautiful experiences, but yet still humbling because I just never expected to experience all of these things throughout my pregnancy. When you look at movies, when you look at novelas growing up, you just see like, like rainbows and butterflies. It's all going to be perfect. Like, baby, you're pregnant and you're feeling beautiful and beautiful. Wow, you're feeling beautiful and the pregnancy glow and all of that. But you know, you grow up just feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get pregnant. It's gonna be such a beautiful experience, and just being able to shop for baby clothes, the nursery, and all these things, and like look cute in my outfits and all of that. Which, yes, it's all part of it, but honestly, it's hard. You will have some days that you are just struggling. The first trimester for me was just really, really hard. I was constantly having breakdowns, and all throughout my pregnancy, I've honestly had breakdowns where I just feel like so tired, so exhausted. I'm hard on myself at times too, which you probably will feel the same way because you are used to a certain routine. So your body, you just feel so foreign in your body. Like, it's not yours. It's yours, but it's not yours at the same time. Like, this little human being that you are creating inside you, life, it's just taken over. There are some days that you're just going to feel like you can't anymore, like you're crying, you're breaking down. Lean on your support. If you go and see a therapist, continue to do that. I feel like for me, therapy has helped me tremendously because I invested like a good 2 years in going to therapy. I feel like I was so much more well prepared for this experience because of the tools and the things that I learned through going to therapy. Leaning on your support system, speaking to your partner. Yes, you know what? They're not going to understand everything that's going on with you, but just lean on them. Let them know. Make them feel included as well. I know for me, Valdez, like, he's like, I don't know what you're feeling. I can't really help you, but I can try to make you feel much more comfortable. And there are some days that I just let him know, babe, I just feel like crying. I don't feel like myself today. I'm really struggling. And all I need is just for you to hold me, for you to hug me, for you to love me, and just comfort me. And that goes a long way. Just leaning on your partner, speaking to family members, speaking to friends, sharing my experience here with the community, with you guys here on YouTube now. But mostly, like, I've been chatting in my Instagram because my YouTube channel is pretty new. But my ladies in Instagram, like, I have leaned on you all and sharing your own personal experiences and just letting me know, like, hey, mama, you're doing good. Like, it's all good. Like, me too. Like, I felt that way, but you're gonna be fine. Like, you're doing great. So lean on that and just know that you're not the only one. And it's gonna be okay. And at the end of the day, just remembering that your body was made for this. Like, that's what I continue to think to myself, is have those positive affirmations. Like, my body was made for this. I am strong. I am literally a vessel of life right now. I have been chosen to carry this baby, and it's gonna be okay. And just loving on myself, giving myself that grace, which is hard again at times, but give yourself that grace, give yourself that love. But you're doing great. If you are struggling right now, please, you know, if you feel comfortable, go ahead and drop it in the comments below. Don't be afraid. Or like also in my Instagram, I will go ahead and leave my handle over here, somewhere around here, where you can go in and follow me. Always feel free to DM me and just share with me your own personal experience. I just want you to know that I am here for you and that you are doing amazing. You're doing great. And I just love you all so very much. Mamas out there, like, wow. Honestly, my respect go out to you because you are all amazing. Like, look at me, I'm gonna start getting emotional because that's also another part of pregnancy. But just my admiration now for women overall, just seeing like what our bodies can do and how we can just nurture and care for another human being and create life. Wow, it is just amazing, the blessing that like God has given us to experience all of this. So drop in the comments down below what symptoms have you experienced that perhaps I have not, that you have that you can relate to. Just let me know in the comments below. But thank you so much for watching this video. Please be sure to subscribe. Any like ideas that you have or videos that you'd like to see, drop them in the comments below as well. But I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye guys.